for the Introducing Flamenco series. In this video, we're going to take a look at a new palo called Alegrias. So let's jump right into the material. Alegrias is a palo of flamenco that originally comes from the port city of Cádiz in the south of Spain, and it uses the same 12-beat compas as Solera, which we looked at in episodes 1 and 2 of the series. What makes Alegrias interesting is that it is played in a major key, unlike most flamenco that is in a Phrygian mode, like the Solera and the tangos we looked at. The word alegria means joy, and the stories being told by these songs are stories of happiness and comedy and love interests, and just being happy for no apparent reason. So that's why this is a much more upbeat and festive style flamenco when compared to the Solera. We're going to look at a simplified alegria today, and we're going to be using our indice rasgueado, which we have used in the previous videos as well. So let's take a look at the 3 chords that we need to play this alegria. Keep in mind that I do have a cejilla on the 2nd fret of my guitar today. If you do not have a cejilla or a capo, that's okay, because I will be referring to the chords as if there wasn't a capo on the guitar. So the first chord that we need is a D major chord. 3 fingers, almost looks like a little triangle, where we have our pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the G string for this note, ring finger 3rd fret on B for this note, and middle finger 2nd fret on the 1st string for this note. And that is our D major chord. Next we have an A major chord, which we looked at in our tangos video, but we're just going to go over it again here. Remember, I used the 2-finger version. If you can't do this right away, that's okay. How I play it is middle finger goes to the 2nd fret on B for this note, and then the pointer finger is going to make a little mini bar by holding 2 strings. It's going to hold the 2nd fret of the D and the G string. So we have a chord that sounds like this. If you want to play this with 3 fingers, which is how most guitarists will end up playing this, that's okay. That works too. And that is our A major chord. The final chord we need is a variation of an E7 chord. Usually E7 is played with 2 fingers, but I'm going to add one more note just to change up the harmony for our alegria. So the E7 is middle finger 2nd fret on A for this note, and then pointer finger 1st fret on the G string for this note. And this chord by itself will work just fine in the alegria as well. But I'm going to add one more finger. I'm going to add the pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. So we get this note. It's kind of a lighter sounding E7, which I think fits the aire and the tone of an alegria really well. So that is our alegria E7. Remember that the compas of alegria is exactly the same as Solera, with accents on 3, 6, 8, 10, and 12. And for this alegria, we're basically going to be switching chords every 3 beats, and we're going to do indice rasgueado just by going down and up. So the progression is we start on D, then we go to A, then the E7, and then we're going to finish on A. So if we count this, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and of course we can loop this as many times as we want. So let's start on the D chord. That's our first chord. We're just going to go down and up in D, say basically as 8th notes. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and we're down, up, down, up, down, up. That's the first part. Then we go to our A major chord. We're going to do the same pattern for beats 4 and 5 and 6 and just down, up, down, up, down, up. From here we go to that E7, and you can use either a regular E7 or that variation I showed previously. I'm going to use the variation variation for this video. We're going to do the same pattern, and this is beats 7, 8, and 9. So we have 7, 8, and 9, and then to resolve, we're going to go back to A for beats 10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12, and that is the whole pattern. So let's try it one more time really slow, starting on the D major chord. And let's go slow here. Let's go this speed. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and A major 4 and 5 and 6 and E7, 7, 8 and 9 and A major 10, 11, 12 and that is the whole pattern. Let's do it again at a quicker speed. Again, starting on the D major. Let's go 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's loop it. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that is our alegría. The interesting thing about Alegrias is that it can also be played in any key that you want as long as it's major. And that example that we just did revolved around the A major key, because you saw that we resolved back to A on beats 10, 11, 12. A lot of Alegrias that I play are in the E key, the E major key, as you heard from the beginning of the video. Where this is going between an E major and a B7. But you can use the same idea in this key as well. This would just be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For this key, we have A major, which we've done already, E major, then we have this variation of B7 that's only played with 3 fingers. It's middle finger, 2nd fret on A, pointer finger, 1st fret on D, middle finger, 2nd fret on G, without the pinky. And then we go back to E, and that's where we resolve. So same pattern here, 1 and 2 and 3, and E major 4 and 5 and 6, and B7, 7, 8, 9, resolve to 10, 11, 12, and we end on our E chord. So we have 2 different versions that you can practice here. We have the A major version starting on the D, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we have an E major version that starts on the A major chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have both versions you can practice to get some different chord shapes and some different voicings and tonality in your alegría. And that's all I'll give you in this video. Stay tuned for the next one where we will look at a new palo in flamenco, and I will see you there. Hasta luego.